Imagine this. One day, as you walk alone under the night sky, an idea crosses your mind, so striking it feels like time itself stops. This life you are living now, every decision you've made, every moment of pain, joy, and doubt, will repeat over and over for all eternity. This is not a dream or a nightmare. It is a possibility Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher of the hammer, introduced with his concept of the eternal return. An idea that not only challenges our perception of time, but also the very meaning of living. The concept of the eternal return is one of the most fascinating and provocative ideas of the German philosopher. This theory suggests the possibility that time and existence are cyclical, repeating infinitely in an eternal loop. For Nietzsche, the eternal return is not just a metaphysical hypothesis, but also a tool for reflecting on life, value, and morality. What does the eternal return mean? To Nietzsche, time is not a straight line moving toward an end, but a circle, an infinite cycle where every moment, every word, and every act recur exactly the same. No changes, no escape. But this idea is not just a mental exercise, it is a test, a scale to weigh the gravity of our existence. Nietzsche confronts us with this question. If you knew that everything you do would repeat for eternity, would you change anything? Could you look at your life with all its good and bad and say, yes, I would live it again? Nietzsche introduces the concept of the eternal return in his work. Thus spoke Zarathustra, where he describes the idea that every event, every action, and every experience is repeated infinitely in time. This notion presents a profound challenge. How would we live our lives if we knew every moment would repeat forever? For Nietzsche, the eternal return is a test of affirming life. The idea that our existence repeats infinitely can be overwhelming, but it can also serve as a call to live authentically and fully. If every moment of our life repeats, then every action gains immense weight and meaning. Are there actions or decisions in your life that you would change if you had to repeat them indefinitely? This is the challenge of the eternal return, an idea not meant to condemn you but to liberate you from procrastination, regret, and mediocrity. Because if every moment matters forever, how can you afford to waste it? Nietzsche invites us to embrace life in its totality, not to seek comfort in a promised paradise or the idea of a final destination, but to live with such intensity and authenticity that you can look into the abyss of the eternal return and respond with a resounding yes. The eternal return also has significant implications for ethics and morality. If our actions repeat eternally, we must carefully consider how we live and how we treat others. Nietzsche challenges us to imagine whether we could endure the eternal repetition of our actions and decisions, and if not, what changes we must make in our lives to do so. What does it mean to live authentically and purposefully for you? Affirmation of life and overcoming nihilism. The eternal return is, at its core, a critique of nihilism, the belief that life lacks intrinsic meaning or value. Nietzsche argues that rather than succumbing to nihilism, we must embrace life and find meaning in our own actions and choices. Accepting the eternal return implies an attitude of amor fati, or love of fate, where one accepts and loves everything that happens as it is. This idea of amor fati invites us to live courageously and responsibly, bearing the weight of our decisions and their consequences. Facing the possibility of the eternal return, Nietzsche challenges us to consider whether we are living in a way we would wish to repeat indefinitely. This perspective urges us to live with integrity, authenticity, and purpose. How can you apply the concept of amor fati in your daily life? To Nietzsche, the eternal return is not just a philosophical concept, but a path to greatness. It connects to his vision of the Übermensch, one who creates their own meaning, who lives fearlessly, transforming every moment into something worthy of repetition. But this is no easy task. Living under the weight of the eternal return requires exceptional courage. It demands accepting every failure, every mistake, as an essential part of the whole. Because in this eternal circle there is no room for regrets, only for the total affirmation of life. The eternal return in contemporary life. Though the concept of the eternal return may seem abstract and philosophical, its relevance in modern life is undeniable. In an age marked by speed and superficiality, the idea that every moment has eternal value invites us to reflect on our priorities and choices. The eternal return reminds us of the importance of living in the present and finding meaning in our daily actions. It challenges us to be mindful of our decisions and consider their impact on our lives and others. By adopting this perspective, we can discover greater depth and authenticity in our existence. How do our daily actions reflect our deepest values and principles? Now listen carefully. If this idea were true, if everything you've experienced would repeat infinitely, could you accept that eternity? Could you embrace it as a loyal lover who never abandons even in the darkest moments? The eternal return is not a condemnation. It is an invitation, a call to live as if every moment were eternal, to see every day, every decision, every relationship as something unrepeatable, and at the same time, infinite. So what will you do with this moment? This instant you are living now, does it deserve to be repeated forever? Because true philosophy is not just about thinking, it is about living. Conclusion. Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of the eternal return is an invitation to live with full awareness and responsibility. By imagining the eternal repetition of our actions, we are challenged to consider the true nature of our choices and seek a life of integrity and purpose. In a world that often values speed and superficiality, the eternal return reminds us of the importance of living authentically and finding meaning in every moment. Remember, the eternal return is not a punishment. It is a mirror, and what it reflects depends solely on you.